Next is from David Bentz, and the subject is Lucha Libre Ultimate Fighter and the Dark Order. Hey guys, first time writing in and just started listening last week. Longtime K-Dog fan, I don't care what Cody Rhodes says, Disco was a draw. The guy got people out of their seats when he came out. I got two questions. One, in the world of Lucha Libre, could a reality TV show work about the many steps of becoming a luchador? Like if the show's prize to be donned as a masked wrestler. I know the mask is a sacred deal, but with the evolution with the times, just as in MMA, do you feel it could work if 8 random faces had to earn the right to become a masked wrestler? You can answer that.
1,000%. And I've actually pitched that idea in Mexico a bunch of times, and it was close to happening, and one day it will happen.
Okay, well, I hope it doesn't because I think it's a shitty idea. Number 2, I ask this with no disrespect to anyone who has passed, and I understand that it's still very recent, but with the passing of Brody Lee and how major AEW built a faction around him, do you feel it will be a smart move for the Dark Order to eventually disband? Although a person who passes will always be loved, I feel it can only ride the RIP train for so long. I saw this stretch far too long with Rey Mysterio and WWE after Eddie's passing. I'm not saying it has to be now or even a month from now, but do you feel the reaction has to eventually end? Thanks for sharing my question. Keep up the good work, guys. David from Sacramento. I mean, if you disband this faction, actually you should disband the faction because it's not over, and you're gonna just get rid of the ones that don't mean anything. It's like a waste. I mean, that's what I would say. You know.
What do you want to say, Joe?
Yeah, the Dark Order, I'm with Disco. I would say that they do have a little bit of time. I'm not going to say they're riding the RIP train or whatever, but the people that watch Being the Elite and stuff, they like their comedy, so I'm sure they want to see a little bit more out of them. But for the TV show, I don't think they have too much juice. But there's no harm in keeping them together for a little while, doing little comedy skits on TV, and some of them are pretty good in the ring as well. I think the biggest star to come out of it's going to be Anna Jay, though. I don't think there's anyone who would disagree with that.
It's John Silver, and I think that whole
Does he mean serious, John Silver?
That evil. He's the only entertaining guy on that.
He is very funny, dude.
And so, like when I was watching, let me tell you, I watched BTE. All right. And
how long does they last?
It's like an hour.
Like an hour. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. And so I would say this is when I watch the show. 30% of it is funny. Okay, the other 70 to me is not.
Okay.
And almost every show, John Silver steals the show. The funniest guys are when Brody was on there. Brody was hilarious because he just cut promos on all of them like I probably would, calling them nerds and deadbeats and dumbasses and
hitting them with paper.
He was hilarious. And so Brody Lee to me was funny, and then the stuff he would do with John Silver was funny. But usually on that show, the funny ones is Silver, sometimes the Young Bucks, and sometimes Omega. Other than that, nobody's really funny. Everybody's trying to be funny. Everybody thinks they're funny. Now, you watch the show, Joe. How much of it do you think is funny? And you have a way different sense of humor than I do.
Well, I watched it the one time recently because it was the Brody Lee tribute. I just wanted to see what they did. So it was basically a best of Brody Lee, all the comedy they did. And watching it in that context, all put together, was very funny. But on a normal week...
Yeah, because that's a best of show. It's supposed to be funny. Yeah. I'm talking about a normal show.
On a normal week, 65% funny. There's some stuff where I really don't care, but then there's certainly the Dark Order stuff's funny. The Bucks can be funny. They had a nice little skit the other week where they were...
you know Matt who's Hardy, funny? Frankie Kazarian is funny.
Kazarian's funny, and Matt Hardy, too. Matt Hardy's doing that, schemer thing on TV, but he's doing it a lot better on
a little
BT.
too long, but it is funny.
Yeah.